Maharaj and his Ananta pastimes ongoing, always, like Mataji mentioned, in some random village she found Guru Maharaj's name, right? So we don't know where all Guru Maharaj has been, right? And it's still continuing. We all might know of the famous pastime when Guru Maharaj was in the hospital, where he could relate the nursing oil to Narsimhadev oil, right? And where he was speaking to the nurses and asking them to apply this oil chant. So always going on, Guru Maharaj is always thinking how to spread the glories of Lord Krishna, how to spread the movement, right? And with that, we will now move on to the second phase of today's program to hear some more nectarian pastimes from Srila Guru Maharaj's God siblings here. We also would like to welcome Shubhavilas Prabhu, Ashalata Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhu Mataji, welcome. And we also have Indresh Gaurav Prabhu, very humbly sitting behind. Prabhu refers to himself as Guru Maharaj's God nephew, just because of his age, but welcome Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So we'll begin the homages now. First we will have Kamala Gopi Mataji read Jayapataka Guru Maharaj's homage to Srila Prabhupada. And once Mataji has finished reading the homage, we will go on with Srila Guru Maharaj's God siblings offerings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmanitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namo Shubhadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Iti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakata Damadaya Nagara Gramatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. This is homages to Srila Prabhupada by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. My dear spiritual father, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine. You have brought the mercy of Nitai Gaura around the world. Lord Chaitanya told Lord Nityananda that we have descended from the spiritual world with the express promise and purpose of delivering the foolish, the fallen, the lowborn, and the distressed. I qualified in all four aspects before becoming a devotee. You have made good fortune for all devotees around the world by giving them the divine glance of Lord Nityananda. I saw how tirelessly you woke up at midnight every night, and for 3 to 4 hours you were writing your translations and purports for Srimad Bhagavatam and different kinds of literature. This was a great sacrifice you made, and you chose your words very carefully in writing these books. So in your presence, you had Bhakti Shastri exam which I took, and by your mercy I could pass and receive my Bhakti Shastri degree. I noticed that you wanted everyone who takes the second initiation, they should have the Bhakti Shastri. For sannyasa, they should have Bhakti Vaibhava, and even in some letters you said to be a guru, to give initiation, a person should have Bhakti Vedanta degree, and you were hoping that everyone, men and women, would read your books and would take these degrees. Actually, in 1969, the definition of a Bhakti Vedanta was the whole Srimad Bhagavatam plus the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And now Bhakti Sarvabhauma would mean Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. You wanted that people should read your books, and they prove they are reading your books by having these exams. I have been trying to fulfill your desire. I have a Bhakti Vaibhava degree, and now I am studying for my Bhakti Vedanta degree. Although I have read your books many times, you told us that to get the first initiation, we had to read the Bhagavad Gita 10 times. You were very insistent that we should know the philosophy and should read your books. And I see this as a very important milestone and that we should implement in Iskcon. I am praying that by your mercy, we make your vision come true. That everyone in 40 tributes Krishna Consciousness Movement reads your books and gets their degrees. Sometimes devotees are very proud that they have not read your books and they don't need to have any degree. Maybe this is not as important for the disciples who knew you personally, but as generations go, the only way they can realize that they can associate with you is mainly through your books. So I do hope that reading your books becomes a preoccupation with everybody. And remember how you were explaining that if someone asks a book distributor, what is in the book? And the distributor says, I don't know, I just sell the books. You did not want that. They should know what is in the book and they should believe that they should preach it. They should give it out. How can we achieve that? Your vision was that we have degrees. So I want to see that vision of yours is implemented. Our present Minister of Education also wants to encourage everyone to read your books. I think this is very enthusiastic and encouraging. And I pray for your mercy that we should be very enthusiastic and we can base our growing society in your Krishna conscious teachings. Everyone has some different aspect or some different idea based on the same scriptures. The scripture is Krishna himself, which is absolute. But different scriptures say different things in different situations. So we need a judge to understand how to apply the scriptures. You are the judge. You are the person who tells us how to understand the scriptures and how to apply this transcendental knowledge. I want that your glories to be understood by all the generations. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your sincere followers. Your servant of the servant, Jayapataka Swami. Initiation, July 1968, Montreal, Canada. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj ki. Such a beautiful offering to Srila Prabhupada and also so instructive to all of us. Right? There's so many important points that Guru Maharaj has conveyed about the importance of reading, the importance of preaching, and I hope all of you had something to take from listening to this wonderful offering. We will be continuing now to hear some more nice pastimes, some more homages from Guru Maharaj's God siblings. Produce, if you could please could ask you to move a bit to this side so everybody could.
Are you okay there? You want to move up?
If all you could please move here, we could
If you don't mind.
get a nice darshan of the devotees.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारे देवशेषा श्रीवादी पतजाते। Happy to celebrate Jayapataka, my god brother's birthday today. There are so many wonderful pastimes we had with him. So I try to do the best I can to remember them, so many of them. That reminded me in 1968, 40 Beverly Street, the first devotee I met in Iskcon, officially was Jayapataka Swami. We saw some devotees chanting on the lower street on the corner of Avenue Road. Then we started looking for the temple. So somebody told us some white people are trying to become sadhus. So it took me a couple of months from 390 Bay Street where I used to work. Every lunchtime I drive around in the area, find some sadhus. So you find somebody, so they're 40 Beverly Street. They guided me there, and I walk in there, and at that time Jayapataka was 19 years old, it was 1968, and he was cooking there. That house is still there. It is a detached townhouse at 40 Beverly Street near Spadina and Dundas Street West. And if we go all the way from Milwaukee to Mayapur, that will, we won't be able to finish his pastime till tomorrow. So I think everybody's going to give me that much time, certainly. So I'll go a few of them. And every time I went to Mayapur, he invited me. He was very, very kind to take care of us, special care of us. One story is very, very nice. You know where Court building is? Right across from there on the second floor, there's Swami Prashad. So he introduced me to the devotees that I'm from Canada, take care of me. And they put a big banana leaf, all kind of food is sitting there. And I'm not eating. And the message go to Jayapataka. Your god brother and your guest is not eating, there's something wrong. He keeps running down. So last, what is wrong? Something wrong with the food. I said, at that time, he was not sannyasi. He said, Jayapataka Prabhu, there's no spoon. In those days, there was no spoon being in Mayapur. Everybody used to eat like this, and I thought if I eat like that, it would be all over on me. I was from Punjab and he knew it. And then he went to his room and brought me a spoon to eat. So that was very nice of him. That is the personal relationship started even before and after that. And next day, he said, oh, he's from Punjab because we get him a chapati. So they put the chapatis there in early 70, and I went to his room again. I said, no, please. Third day, don't give me chapati. You should have seen those chapati. They were triangle, they were not square, they were not round. I don't know what they were. There were so many angles there. So, but now, my Mayapur is different there. And every time we went there, especially Ashram will tell you, he took care of so much of us that everything should be all right for our stay and everything else. And just, my other god brother will speak about the philosophy, but I have only one line on the philosophy. Iskcon is service to the Guru and Prabhupada and Krishna. His instructions have to be taken care of us. of the Prabhupada. Give a short example. Madhvendra Puri, that was the Gaudiya Sampradaya, will say, the sannyasi, and he had a disciple, Ishwar Puri. When Madhvendra Puri in Jagannath Puri got very old, with the age and everything, everybody getting old. You can get examples of Prabhupada later, but and Ishwar Puri took care of Madhvendra Puri so much. He take his stool, dress him, give him bath every day. And Maharaj'S Puri became so impressed with the service by Ishwar Puri. He told Ishwar Puri, your disciple will be Krishna himself. That was the blessing. It is the mercy. You should ask her, mercy doesn't come just by pretending it actually. You do the service and follow the instructions. So, after Maharaj'S Puri left, in a few days after that, Ishwar Puri gets a knock at the door of his little hut there, and who's standing outside? That was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's asking him, give me the initiation. So this is what it is. You have to learn something, and please, as it's said again and again, to get connected with Srila Prabhupada, you have to read his books and do as much as service you can. And as far as the philosophy is concerned, here is the Krishna Das Kaviraj, he's expert in that, he'll talk about that. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada,
Thank you, Shubhavilas Prabhu, such a beautiful memory, such a beautiful offering. We now have Krishnadas Kaviraj Prabhu. Gaurav Prabhu, sure. Gaurav Prabhu will say a few words.
Pachukalpatruvischa Kripasundavyecha Patitanam Pavnivyo Vaishnavyo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Pahora Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It was my good fortune to first meet His Holiness Jayapataka Swami on my first trip to India. Krishnadas Prabhu and I were serving Shri Gaurnitai at the Ottawa Temple, and we were short of pujaris. We were short of devotees in general. So Rupa Vilas Prabhu, our temple president, asked me to go to Mayapur to take a Brahminical initiation. And while I was there, before I got extremely ill, I had a chance to join Jayapataka Maharaj on Parikram, going to Srivas Angam, the Yoga Pit, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and further up the road, Samadhi of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And so Jayapataka Maharaj was opening up the spiritual world to me, and hundreds of other God brothers and God sisters taking us very rambunctious kirtans, hundreds of us attending all at one time. Then in the 1980s, I remember him coming to our Montreal and Toronto temples, again leading the same fire kirtans, chanting the name of Gauranga, with gigantic Maha Wamper kartals. I think those kartals must have taken one suitcase just by themselves. And so he was like larger than life. He's in a category of his own, having been steeped in living in Mayapur, Vietnam. More recently, I was reminded that Jayapataka Swami first met the devotees in San Francisco And he got a BTG, just to remind us of how important the backbone of Prabhupada's publishing, Back to Godhead magazine is. We used to actually literally distribute millions. Was it every month? I had a quota of 176 a day. Don't come home until they're all done. So this was the mood. And Jayapataka Swami got a Back to Godhead magazine, came to the San Francisco temple, and he met a devotee that Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, in his opinion, was the most advanced devotee in all of Iskcon. And that was Sriman Jayananda Thakur, Jayananda Prabhu, who trained up Jayapataka Swami. And then he came up to Canada, I believe, after San Francisco. Not sure if he came to Montreal first and then came to Toronto. Montreal first. And so then he told the story when he was visiting Montreal Temple. Probably many of you have heard it, but I'll share it anyway, those who may not have heard it. So although his secular name is John Gordon Erdman, he called himself Bhakta J in the story. He said, so he was Bhakta J at the Montreal Temple, and one day he just brought a rose to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada appreciated it very much. He said, oh, this is very good for my health. If you study Ayurveda, you'll find out that the rose is multifaceted. It's very, very medicinal in so many ways. So Prabhupada wanted a rose each day. And so he told Jayapataka, or Bhakti Ji at that time, you can bring me a rose every day. So he called the florist, and the florist said, okay, I'll have a bouquet of roses waiting for you when you come. And then he was about to leave the temple, and the temple president said to him, where do you think you're going? He said, oh, I'm going to go buy a bunch of roses for Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada doesn't need a bunch of roses. I have a whole bunch of service for you to do around here. We don't need you wandering around buying roses. So he didn't, I don't think he knew that Prabhupada actually gave the direct order for him to do this. He thought he was just being sentimental. So he was, frustrated about this, getting a different order than what Prabhupada had given him directly. But he left the temple anyway to go and search for the florist. And he said he didn't really exactly know where the florist was, or he didn't remember the address. But he walked, and the first florist he came across, he walked in, and the florist said, oh, I was wondering when you were going to be coming. So he sold him that bouquet of roses, and he brought that back to Srila Prabhupada. I asked him later, I said, who was that temple president? Because he didn't mention it in the class. And he said it was Hamsa Prabhu. But anyway, there were no fights in those days, and we didn't exactly know how to deal with one another. Have I run out of my 5 minutes yet, or do I have a minute or two left? Okay. So I spent the last 14 years looking for all of Srila Prabhupada's disciples online, and I managed to locate almost 1,000 of them. And so I put out a post asking my godbrothers or godsisters to speak something about Jayapataka Swami. And Pushkar Prabhu said that some of the original devotees that were with Jayapataka Swami in India were Gopal Das, not Gopal Krishna Maharaj, but a devotee named Gopal Das, who's in Vrindavan, Taras, Ajamil Prabhu, and Subal were there. Srila Prabhupada, as you may know, told Jayapataka Swami to give up your American citizenship and become a full-on Indian citizen. And he was so surrendered, he just did that. And then he told him to take sannyas. He said, whatever you want me to do, Prabhupada. So Ajamil Prabhu, he shares a little bit. He said, we were living, pardon? No, not Ajamil from Toronto, Ajamil Prabhu from England, joined, 1972. Thank you. And he said they were living in the Bhajan Kutir, like right at the front of the entrance of Mayapur. And they were like the Sunday feast for the mosquitoes. every night. So you can imagine the austerity that Jayapataka Swami was living in. When I was in Jaipur a few years ago, I saw him in Brampton pick a leaf from a tree and he ate it. And I said, "Why are you eating that leaf?" And he said, "Well, this is a neem leaf. If you eat 3 of these at night, the mosquitoes will not bite you. But if you eat a banana, then they're going to come after you because your blood is sweet." So I imagine Maharaj knew about that. So Ajahn Prabhu said Jayapataka Swami was a leading force in Mayapur right from the very beginning. Every morning he would bellow out the Udilo Aruna Pura Amage Trijamani Pura Amane Jage. That's the Arunodaya Kirtan, part 1. So that's recommended to be sung in the morning along with Jeev Jago and Diva Initiation. So he'd sing that out to everyone very enthusiastically. And he said many devotees would come to Mayapur, and as quickly as they would come, they would leave. Because it was so austere. You can just imagine being there in the grass hut at that time. And so Shuddhananda was there with them as well. One other little quick pastime. One day Srila Prabhupada instructed Jayapataka Swami that we should plow our own fields and we should not pay the locals. I don't know if it's been out of print for many years. Have any of you seen this pamphlet? It was actually produced in the 70s called Krishna Consciousness is Authorized. And if you look at the back of it, there's a devotee walking in the field with a bull in the Mayapur field, and that's Jayapataka Swami. Yeah. Matter of fact, it's described that he started reading books on agriculture, and he became very expert in learning how to grow the subsies. And then he started educating the local Bengalis on how they could create a bigger yield. And so they taught him Bengali, and he taught them how to improve their agriculture. So this is a quick paragraph. So when Prabhupada said that we should do our own plowing, Jayapataka Swami jumped right into it. He was very good. However, after 1 month, we went back to managing and hiring the locals, and hence it was more productive. We were ready to do anything for Srila Prabhupada. So I'll just stop there. Thank you. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you so much, Bala Prabhu. Such a wonderful narration of pastimes. I'm pretty sure many of these events we are not familiar with. Thank you so much for sharing. We have Krishnadas Prakash Prabhu next.
Om Jnanatmagandasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshurumanikandirana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasundurveda Chakititam Mahaprabhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare. So very much like Gaur, the first time I met Jayapataka Maharaj was on my visit to Mayapur in 1976. And we had just gotten off the airplane, the chartered airplane from New York City that was all devotees. And it was pretty ecstatic flight. We had kirtan in the middle of the flight. The plane was going up and down because all the devotees were jumping up and down. And the pilot had to say, everybody's in there. Anyway, we got off and we got on all the buses. There were, I think, about 20 to 30 buses. And everybody hopped on the buses and then they drove us up to Mayapur. We all came through the gate, and Jayapataka Maharaj and Bhavananda Maharaj were sitting where, if you come in the main gate now, you look and you see Prabhupada's Samadhi. Pushpa Samadhi is right there, and the TODP is right there. But at that time, there was just a red cement building that had kind of a porch, and it was it actually had, I think, a lot of the farm equipment in it, taking care of the land that we were talking about. And so he and Bhavananda were sitting on the front of the veranda of that, and they were just welcoming all the devotees in. And also, we went on Parikram, and one of the things that I really remember about being on Parikram was going to Bhaktivedanta Thakur's house. And at that time, it was actually fairly run down. It was not very well looked after. And like it was mentioned in the video, that there's now, and Jayapataka Maharaj was named as the chair, life for life, of the Bhaktivedanta, or the Bhaktivedanta Charity Trust. Right? And so, but he was there, and he told the story of how Bhaktivedanta Thakur had this vision of all the devotees in Mayapur speaking different languages, and a city sprouting up, and then of the big temple coming up. And of course, in 1976, there was just the Lotus building, and that was all. There wasn't even the long building. There was just about 100 feet of the foundation of the long building. So, and it was just, we were looking at there's one temple and a whole lot of fields, and even from Bhaktivedanta Thakur's house, there weren't many trees at the time, and you could see all the way to the Yoga Peak. And we were just thinking, how is this ever going to happen? And now, by Srila Jayapataka Maharaj's persistence, his dedication, and his devotion, and his pure love for Srila Prabhupada, and just wanting to please him in so many ways, it has now all become manifest. This whole dream of Bhaktivedanta Thakur that Prabhupada wanted to happen, and then it takes somebody to actually make it happen. And Jayapataka Maharaj actually made it happen. And he's still there, making it happen in many ways. And yeah, with that from Operation, of course. And from many of the Canadian yatras, one of the biggest contributors, I think, to the TOBB, right? And so, fast forward, the first time I came back to Mayapur, the next year, 2 years later, in 1978, just after Prabhupada left, Purnamasi and I came to Mayapur, but then we didn't come back to Mayapur again until 2003, so it was 25 years later. And so I had not seen Mayapur since 1978, and it was still in 78, looked very much like it did in 1976, just fields, one temple, and a long building this time. But that was it. That was all that was there. And when we came back in 2003, after 25 years, couldn't believe it. I couldn't even recognize. We were driving up in the car, and they said, "Oh, we're in the Dom now." And I was like, "What? Where?" I don't see it, because I was looking for the Lotus building, but the Lotus building was behind so many other buildings. And they drove us to the front of the Gata Bhavan, and I remember getting out of the car and offering obeisances, and then I got up and I heard a devotee going by with another devotee, and they were speaking German. And then a couple of other devotees went by speaking Russian, and then a couple of other devotees went by speaking French, and I was just like, wow. And then I realized, I remember now that Jayapataka Maharaj was talking about all these people from all different countries being in Mayapur, and Bhaktivedanta Thakur having that dream. And I just realized now I'm actually in Bhaktivedanta Thakur's dream. and even though there were buildings, the long building was in the way, and so many other buildings, but I kind of looked in the direction of where Bhaktivedanta Thakur's house went, and I just waved, actually, and I said, "Hare Krishna Bhaktivedanta, I'm in your vision." So, who knows if, many years ago, in 18-something, when Bhaktivedanta Thakur was looking out over his veranda, he was actually seeing that vision, and perhaps he was going, "Oh, look, there's..." Yeah. But anyway, it was pretty enlivening. And I got the mercy to take part in what's called the GBC Deputies. It's a body that helps the GBCs to process proposals. Every devotee in Iskcon, if they think of a proposal, that is good for all of Iskcon, they can actually write up a proposal and put it before the GBC. Well, first of all, they have to get a GBC to sponsor it. So, because sometimes they get proposals that are not so well thought out, and so that the sponsor, you have to get sponsorship from from a GBC member. Otherwise, it'll maybe waste a lot of the time of the GBC. So what we do is we go over a lot of these proposals, we edit them, and then we put it up to the GBC with all the positive, minus points, and interesting points of every proposal. And then we go, they vote on it, they have a straw vote, and then the straw vote often is like, we'll vote on this if it's changed in this way or that way, and then we'll put it forward. And Jayapataka Maharaj has always been interested in the welfare of Iskcon, in complete Iskcon, and not just Mayapur, but he has this universal vision as well. And he writes many proposals every year. And so ultimately, it often ends up that the GBC kind of feel one way about his proposal, and just if we changed a few things, then it might be able to go through. And so I have to go to him and I have to ask him, what do you think about these changes? And he'll say, oh yeah, I like that. And so I've had a lot of dealings with him over the years. And one year, I believe it was about 2006, 2007, they decided to have a day in the middle of the GBC meetings where the GBC could actually just go and associate down in the Donga and read and chant, and then also, swim together. And they brought a ball along, and it was this sort of big beach ball. But we kind of started playing kind of a game of water polo. We separated into two groups, and everybody was swimming, and Jayapataka Maharaj was in there swimming. And I can remember he was on an opposite team for me, and I can remember I was, getting the ball, and all of a sudden I got pushed right under the water. I was like, what's going on? And then I came up with Jayapataka Maharaj was, Hare Krishna! It was really kind of funny. And so there was another time when he was looking at me, and I happened to be behind him, and the ball came to him. And I just pushed him right under. And then, so it was a really great day. And some of you may think, well, that's really offensive, but I am his godbrother, so it was just godbrother to godbrother dealings. So it was really just amazing, and even to this day, practically speaking, I would not be surprised if Jayapataka Maharaj is already writing proposals, because he's just been in the hospital, as you all know, for quite a while. And amazingly enough, again, by the prayers of all the devotees and by Krishna's grace that allow him to stay with us, he's made it through all that. And he's coming out of the hospital again, and he's, and soon will be able to head back to Mayapur. But he's constantly thinking in this way. And I think that all of us, we all want what our guru wants. At least that's the way it should be, right? The disciple takes the instruction of the spiritual master and makes it his heart and soul. And so, because Jayapataka Maharaj wants the Iskcon to go on for the next 10,000 years, as Srila Prabhupada predicted, that Iskcon would go on for the next 10,000 years. So, Jayapataka Maharaj obviously wants that as well. And so, each one of his disciples has to understand, how can I contribute to that happening? Because if it's my Guru Maharaj's desire, then it has to be my desire as well. So all of us should be thinking, what can I do to help Iskcon carry on for the next 10,000 years? And one of the main things, I believe, and Jayapataka Maharaj was on a committee that I was on for a little while, and it was a committee that was formed by the GBC to figure out different ways of keeping Prabhupada in the center of Iskcon. Because Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of Iskcon. And so he is the greatest. In fact, one of his own godbrothers, Krishnadas Babaji actually told Bibi Govinda Maharaj back in 1976, and he said, "Your guru is the greatest guru of all time." And he didn't just say it once. He said, "Your guru is the greatest guru of all time." And I mean, we're talking the six Goswamis, Jiva Goswami, and so many great acharyas, and this disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Godbrother of Prabhupada, said that. And it's predicted in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that Srila Prabhupada is the Senapati. That Lord Chaitanya said, "I have spread the holy name all over Bharatvarsh. Now I will send my Senapati Bhakta, and who's the general of all the Bhaktas, and he will spread this holy name all over the world." And so Srila Prabhupada is definitely the glue that holds Iskcon together. Not only did he found it, but he's also the glue that holds it together. So each one of us has to not only understand our own guru and his, how he fits in with Srila Prabhupada, but we also have to, all disciples for the next 10,000 years, have to develop a very intimate relationship with Srila Prabhupada. And so all of us should be, today is a big day because Jayapataka Maharaj has so many thousands of disciples, and there's Jayapataka, there's Guru Pujas going on in many places all over the world. And what we should do is every disciple, grand disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and grand disciple ad infinitum, they should write an offering to their own guru, but simultaneously you should write an offering to Srila Prabhupada, each and every one of you. And every one of us should become intimately connected with Srila Prabhupada's life and pastimes by reading the Prabhupada Leelamrita. Because when you do that, you really understand the trials and tribulations that Srila Prabhupada went through to establish Iskcon, and how the devotees worked together to help Srila Prabhupada in establishing Iskcon. And then by also embodying that mood and instruction and the devotion of Srila Prabhupada, you can also help that Iskcon to carry on for the next 10,000 years. And if any of you become gurus, and your guru actually said that, Prabhupada told him that there should be millions of gurus, right? So we should not be thinking, well, who am I? Who am I to become guru? No, you should be thinking, I need to read Prabhupada's books, I have to understand the mission of my guru and Srila Prabhupada, and give this message of Krishna consciousness to others. So it's so important that in that way, then Iskcon can really begin to spread all over the world. And so on this day, I think that Jayapataka Maharaj would be very happy if all of us made that. You don't have to say it out loud, but you just pledge within yourself. And I'm going to get to know my Guru's heart and soul, his desire to keep Iskcon going. And I am going to also become more connected to Srila Prabhupada, and I will give that connection to whomever I meet. So, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for sharing such wonderful pastimes and also giving us the opportunity to relish these memories.
Actually, there's one other thing that Purnamasi wanted me to say. Jayapataka Maharaj, one time they were going down to the Ganga to collect the water for the Abhishek, the Maha Abhishek. And Jayapataka Maharaj, this was pre-stroke, so probably around 2006, 2007. And the boat was going out, and Jayapataka Maharaj was saying, come on, everybody on the boat. And one of the women said, and women too? And he said, yes. And so a lot of the women started getting on the boat also. But Purnamasi got started a little late. This was pre-Purnamasi's stroke also. And she started wading into the water, but the boat started getting a little far, and then there's a bit of a drop off in the Ganga, it drops off very quickly, and all of a sudden she started going down. And she was holding Tulsi Devi, because they had asked her to bring Tulsi Devi, so she was holding Tulsi Devi and going under. And Jayapataka Maharaj was the closest in the boat to Purnamasi, and he just grabbed her by the arm, like underneath the shoulder, and he's a sannyasi, right? Should never touch a woman, but all he did was and he just practically pulled her right into the boat. There's a few devotees who helped him in the final stage, but he just went and pulled her right up. So, he did the needful. And he saved Tulsi Devi and he saved Purnamasi.
I'd just like to say quickly that he also saved Srila Prabhupada in the sense that this is in a tape, and I didn't know that it was actually Jayapataka Swami that did this. Prabhupada was in maybe some of you know the details better, but Prabhupada was in his room, and somehow or other he was in his bathroom, and he found a big cobra snake, and Prabhupada started yelling, Jayapataka, Jayapataka, and he came running, and I think he squished the cobra in the corner, or do you know the other details?
Yeah, it was with a broom or something. I think he kept it in. And then a number of other devotees came, and they were actually able to get a rope around him or something, and they were able to finally, get him a few hands on and carry him.
And on that tape, Prabhupada said there's a second one because they always travel in pairs, husband and wife.
Oh yeah, keep an eye out. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Now Ashanta Mataji shares some of her memories.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Happy Appearance Day to my God brother Jayapataka Maharaj. We know Jayapataka Maharaj since he was brahmachari, young age, and he is serving since that time to till today without deviation. Prabhupada told him, go to Mayapur. At that young age, he followed his instructions and he went to Mayapur in India. A Western person going to India. And then so since that time, Jayapataka Maharaj is serving Srila Prabhupada and his Iskcon without deviation. And he has been very, very, very affectionate to us. Not only me and Subha Vilas. Whenever we go to Mayapur, he makes sure that we are taken good care of it. Not only that, he has been very affectionate to Meenakshi and Indresh. Not only that, third generation, Meenakshi, Radhapriya, Munisha, Abhay went to Mayapur in 2016. And we went to see Jayapataka Maharaj. He was so affectionate, he wanted to offer something to the children. But what? But at that time, he had green grapes garland in his neck. He started pulling those grapes and started giving to the children. That was Radhapriya, Munisha and Abhay. So I was so pleased. He looked at the affection he has to the children and to everybody. He is such an amazing person. When he was healthy, he was very charming, and he was traveling all over the world, different places, just to preach. Regardless of his health, still he kept going on preaching. That is his Jayapataka. Not only that, to preach the Bengali people, he learned the Bengali language, which was something very special for him. Not only that, he has done wonderful job throughout the years. This Mayapur Dham, he made it from jungle to mangal, like from wilderness to a place kind of spiritual world. Mayapur is not an ordinary place. It's just like a spiritual world within this material world. The morning program is so wonderful, so transcendental that you won't even believe it. I think some of you must be seeing the Mayapur. You can say what the place is. It is spiritual world within this material world. And TUVP, another thing, there's another wonder of the world, where thousands and millions of people will go to have the darshan of the Lordship. And that's all because of Jayapataka Maharaj. With the help of these senior devotees, sincere devotees, but that complex is created by Jayapataka Swami. So I really appreciate is all the efforts and hard works what he has done for Srila Prabhupada and his Iskcon. Jayapataka Swami, carry on, keep going on, serving Prabhupada and his Iskcon. Thank you again and happy Appearance Day again. So Jayapataka Swami, Hare Krishna.
One more item.
I forgot something. My Toronto story. I think I have told many times. We were in Jayapataka Swami, and you know, very affectionate to us. He came to our house to visit us few times, and when we were in Chicago, he came there, and I made some aloo paratha for him. And as I told you, he used to come to Toronto almost every year when he was healthy. So when we meet him in Toronto, I was going to the duties and he was coming this way after seeing the duty. He said, where are my aloo parathas? I was so happy that he remembered my aloo parathas and he liked my aloo paratha. And that is Jayapataka. Very jolly, very charming, very extraordinary personality. Hare Krishna.
One more minute, we talked about Malvanda Puri, how the blessing works and how the power of program works. And it is only a disciple follow his Guru and Srila Prabhupada. Now, as we discussed, he's from Iraqi, a white person, Indian people, we know who Krishna is, we believe in half a Ram or whatever, everything. The Jayapataka and Prabhupada in Montreal, Prabhupada initiated him and tell this white person, 19 years old, remember, Iraqi in Chicago, Global Drive, the biggest city of alcohol, by the way. And there, Prabhupada told him, go and open a temple in Toronto. And Jayapataka took his instructions seriously and comes. He was the first president of Iskcon Toronto at Beverly Street. And now you see, we had a 3-hour waiting line at Jagama Street, all the way to Young Street. This was Srila Prabhupada and his effort of Jayapataka Maharaj to take the instruction of the Guru Maharaj, as Kisana said. We have to follow his books and the instructions. And then the life will be successful. Thank you.
Thank you. I have more than just one more thing, but I'll just share one more thing.
We can go on and
So
on.
this coming from Kavichandra Swami, he wrote this a few years back. And he had written a letter to Jayapataka Swami, and Jayapataka Swami replied to him. So Kavichandra Swami is saying, I just got this response from Determination Personified. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. Kavichandra Swami is calling him Determination Personified. Please please note the last paragraph. Kalichandra Swami is saying, please note the last paragraph. Okay. Thank you for your encouraging words and your unparalleled expressions. I was active in the GBC meetings, Gaura Purnima Festival, Safari, Vyasa Puja, tribal meetings, Temple of Vedic Planetarium exhibit meetings, Narasina Chaturadasi. I was about to go to America to attend some meetings and to extend my green card, although I was taking extra rest when I reached Calcutta. The hospital didn't know what to do. They could not diagnose my situation correctly. They said I would probably not be able to leave the hospital alive. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Radha Madhava, and the other deities, and due to your prayers and best wishes, I have another chance to serve Srila Prabhupada in this body. Now here comes they call it the kicker. Jayapataka Swami goes on to say, I have seen a vision where my godbrothers and godsisters were very happy. It was like a golden city. They invited me to stay with them. But I excused myself that I still want to do a few things for Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for your prayers and inspirational letter. So in my not so humble opinion, I would say this intense desire that Jayapataka Swami has to do more and more and more service for Srila Prabhupada. His mind is always absorbed in thoughts, okay, I have to complete this project for Prabhupada and I have to do this. Because sometimes, have you ever heard that sometimes people leave their body? Like for instance, if their spouse dies or something, then they kind of give up living. They die of a broken heart. But Jayapataka Swami's heart, even though so many other parts of him had to get replaced, his heart is still very, very solid and given to Prabhupada. And I believe that that's what's keeping him growing. Like Malati?
Yeah. Malati's, everybody knows Malati. She's been working so hard for Prabhupada. She just says, I don't have time to stop. I can't stop. She just keeps going on and on. Although she is retiring from the GBC this year. But just like Jayapataka Maharaj, she is just filling her days with serving Srila Prabhupada. And really, Prabhupada and Krishna are just allowing her to go on in spite of so many difficulties. I mean, she's had 3 or 4 pneumonias. In fact, there was one time she was in the hospital, the doctor said you have 3 conditions which could kill you by the morning. And she survived.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. We'll also have English Prabhu say a few words about the Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Srila Prabhupada. His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj ki. That's all you have to do. His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj ki. So you heard from his god siblings that Jayapataka Maharaj in the early days went through a lot of austerity. A lot of Prabhupada disciples went through a lot of austerity. At that time, there was not the opulence. So even in North America, it was austere, and Mayapur is very austere. You can still see the Bhajan Kutir. You can actually see the straw hut where everything started. So that austerity was in the 60s and 70s. And then in the 80s and 90s, when many of you joined in 2000, there was a lot of opulence in Iskcon. And Jayapataka Maharaj had a lot of that opulence. He was jolly, he had a big stick, the big cymbals, the big kartals, and he would go and you see all this opulence. And when he used to come to Toronto, we were packed in a room. When he used to come for Rath Yatra, he'd go out there and be the life of the Kirtan. And then in 2008, Maharaj had a stroke. And that's a very important, what he's teaching us now is the austerity and renunciation. The renunciation is being displayed from 2008 to now is a real display of Jayapataka Maharaj's grit and his love for Srila Prabhupada. The love for Srila Prabhupada is on display now. The day when we go out there and have to go out there and do service, we have to go out there and cook, were to come and do service at the altar, and you have a headache, or your wife has a headache, or the child has to go out and do something, oh Prabhu, Prabhu, I cannot come and do service. Oh, I'm sorry, Prabhu, I'm not feeling well today. Oh, sorry, Prabhu, I have too much work to go to. There's excuse after excuse. And Jayapataka Maharaj has so much physical discomfort. So much discomfort. He's coming every single day. He goes out and preaches, and he's doing it for you. For all of us, he's doing it. He goes and takes that physical discomfort every single day for Srila Prabhupada. And he's going out there, and every last body, hair on his body, every last breath, he's going out there and giving the service to his disciples, actually. So it's very important that we recognize his sacrifices. And a couple more things I want to say. One is a personal touch. You know, he has thousands of disciples around the world. And then sometimes you think how, you know, Srila Prabhupada used to go to recognize when a child would not show up. Someone's wife would not show up. He'd say, where is this person? So Jayapataka Maharaj has thousands of disciples. He said, okay, maybe he doesn't remember. But one example is, I forget what year it was, but my parents were in India, in Mayapur, and I usually don't pick up phone numbers I don't recognize. I had a phone call, and on the other line was Jayapataka Maharaj. And Jayapataka Maharaj is in the airport, and the airport, he's telling me that your parents will be well cared for, that they're in Mayapur, everything's okay. So imagine that personal touch. But thousands of disciples, he goes there and calls me out of the blue and says, don't worry, they're being taken care of. And then my father just mentioned that in Toronto, in 1968, he was initiated in Montreal. So there's a big Canadian connection. Jayapataka Maharaj, I know he's from Milwaukee, I know he has Indian citizenship, but we claim him here because he was born here because Srila Prabhupada did initiation in Montreal, Canada. And in 1969, he became the first temple president of Toronto. So the very first temple president. And tomorrow, at this very Iskcon Brampton, we're gathering 11 centers of Iskcon Southern Ontario are gathering at Iskcon Brampton tomorrow at 9:59 a.m. We're gathering here 11 centers in Southern Ontario and 25 centers across Canada, started by Jayapataka Maharaj's sacrifice. So that's how we've grown. So with that said, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj ki! His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj ki! Hare Krishna.
I just want to say one more thing. So this is Rath Yatra in Toronto a few years ago, and so we were going up Yonge Street, only we could still go up the whole length of Yonge Street, and Jayapataka Maharaj was attending that Rath Yatra. And so I'm walking along, chanting Hare Krishna in front of Jagannath's cart. And then up beside me comes Jayapataka Swami. And then he kind of bends over, puts his palms together, and he says, Gaura Prabhu, how can I serve you? And I was shocked. I have no frame of reference. Why is he asking me, don't you have enough service already without asking to serve me? Like you're carrying like the world on your shoulder, And I was flabbergasted, I was speechless. And then I thought for a moment. I said, yes, I know a service that you can do for me. Even though we should not ask for a service, right? I said, when I come to Mayapur, I want you to give me some of your association because you're always surrounded by hundreds of your disciples. And I can't penetrate. I can't get close to you because he said, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Let's give a big round of applause. You can see from their offerings, from their memories, such love they have for each other. Right? So much compassion, so much love, and so instructive also for all of us. Right? It teaches us how devotees should behave with each other, how God brothers, God sisters, God siblings should behave with each other. And that's what Iskcon is all about. Right? So before we proceed to the offerings from the temple leaders, I just have an offering that was sent by His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj. Maharaj couldn't make it because of his prior commitments, or he has kindly sent an offering towards Guru Maharaj. So Maharaj says, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Many devotees in our area of the world are unaware that you played a major role in establishing Krishna consciousness in the greater Toronto area, more specifically downtown. By the mercy of the Lord, you functioned as a temple president for Iskcon Toronto on Beverly Street in around 1969. In other words, you kick-started the mission as one of the pioneers. We are very grateful for that. In fact, a number of our brothers and sisters, disciples of Prabhupada, came up north from the USA to bless the land that we know as Canada. Those times in Toronto must have been very exciting. The house on Beverly Street, which we converted into a temple/ashram, was near the heart of the University of Toronto, the Ontario College of Art and Design. And what to speak of Chinatown? I had personally come to know that a number of what we called draft dodgers during the Vietnam War had become serious devotees. There were all these young people coming around to the sweet Victorian house before Iskcon moved to 187 Gerrard Street. It was also a time when migrants from India were occasionally dropping in to have a taste of what the culture of Bharat has to offer, the beautiful spiritual culture of Krishna consciousness. Maharaj, you are indeed credited for getting the Krishna culture up and off its feet in a vicinity that Prabhupada would be proud of. We are growing with new centers across Canada, budding and blossoming with new life abound. Something like spring where there's an explosion happening. This explosion started from Toronto, which some people in the past referred to as Hogtown, more recently as TO, and now the 6 compliments of rapper Drake. With blessings from your good heart, you will continue to expand from east to west to north, covering the largest ocean in the world, including Niagara Falls. We conditioned souls called Canadians are in somewhat of a struggle, but we have a chance. Lastly, thank you for planting those seeds of bhakti and continuing to bless. Your God brother, Maharaj'S Swami. Now we shall have Jagannath Mishra Prabhu, who will speak on behalf of Iskcon Burlington.
Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Hare Krishna. Please accept our prostrated obeisances and the dust of your Lord's feet. All glories to you on this most auspicious 75th anniversary celebration of your appearance. On behalf of the Iskcon Burlington Council, I feel totally unqualified to glorify such a luminary among luminary Mahabhagavats. As for Srila Prabhupada's daily calendar, he wrote today, devotional service must continue under all circumstances. This material body is actually a bad bargain because it is prone to suffer, but we must make the best use of the bad bargain. That means to be always engaged in the service of Krishna and not fail. What a coincidence! An apt reference from Srila Prabhupada on his day of Vyasa Puja as it epitomizes the swarup of uninterrupted seva. Similarly, in the first line of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada writes, the word Chaitanya means living force. Charit means character, and Amrit means immortal. The word Chaitanya Charitamrita then may be translated as the character of the living force in immortality. Maharaj, you are the living, walking, and talking Chaitanya Charitam. What is the proof? 3 points. So I'll give you 3 points that show Shastra evidence that he is the walking, talking, and living Chaitanya Charitamrita. Point number 1. You are the paragon of the opening line of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. The character of the living force of Lord Chaitanya is non-different from the books about him. 2. You are endowed with the central point of Lord Chaitanya's teachings, Achintya Veda Aveda Tattva. How? A. You defy material energy. Doctors gave you a 1% chance of survival after your massive stroke in October 2008. And even after a kidney and liver transplant, your preaching efforts are even stronger than ever, which is incredible. B. Your mood of spreading Lord Chaitanya's message despite all health odds is inconceivable. You have defied death personified many times over and over because you just wanted to preach, preach, and preach. You're the modern day Vishnu Dev. 3. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that of all the books, even Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita is most valuable, and again you symbolize Saraswati Thakur's message. How? Saraswati Thakur told Srila Prabhupada that I'm sending some personal associates of Lord Chaitanya to you. Srila Prabhupada specifically told you that you are the eternal servant of Lord Chaitanya. You asked Srila Prabhupada how that's possible. Srila Prabhupada asked, what is your legal name? You said, Gordon John. So Prabhupada said that you are Gora Dan Jan. You're very well the associates of Lord Chaitanya, Gora Dan Jan, and Gordon John. Once in your godmother's Bombay home, Srila Prabhupada told Srinath Prabhu, the young man is an original associate of Lord Chaitanya. In closing, we humbly fall at your Lord's feet, which are an endless ocean of mercy. We pray that you kindly grant us one drop of mercy from that vast ocean, that we become capable servants and instruments of your Sankirtan army to please Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. Please bless us, Maharaj. Please bless us. Please bless us. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Instant and service to your service, Chaitanya Das on behalf of Iskcon Brampton. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Next, we shall have Madhukar Prabhu from Iskcon Niagara.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Vedanta Siddhanandana Shlaya Chaksarudusubhina Tasmai Shri Gurve. All glories to Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani. All glories to Gaura, Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Gaurikai. All glories to the second succession. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila all glories to my spiritual father and my beloved Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. Happy Krishna conscious birthday to you. We all love you very much. In my spiritual journey, I got many chances and occasions to serve Guru Maharaj personally. First time in 1985, when Guru Maharaj visited Bhari, His Grace, Mahavishnu Prabhu and other devotees used to gather at 3 a.m. before Guru Maharaj wakes up. We serve Guru Maharaj to get ready for Mangala Aarti and discourse. I was not very qualified, but Guru Maharaj is so merciful that he has given us initiation and accepted me and my wife as his disciples after 11 years in 1996. I would like to narrate my spiritual realization and experience. For me, that is a miracle. Like Radharani, Lord Krishna and Gauritai, but Guru Maharaj is also Bhakta Vatsala. He understands the wish of his devotee. Once Guru Maharaj has visited in Bahrain, after I took initiation in 1996, I have been given duty to serve Guru Maharaj by temple management. I have to take Guru Maharaj for a morning walk. it so happened that this was a lifetime opportunity to serve Guru Maharaj and to live with Guru Maharaj alone. But unfortunately, I had to go to office to attend meeting with owner of the company, even though I have asked for a leave that day. I was at the office attending meeting, praying for Lord to finish early. In Bahari temple, all are asking Guru Maharaj, can we go for a morning walk? Guru Maharaj said, no, I'm busy. He was attending calls, was attending and replying calls, emails. He was calling me, my wife, occasionally, Vyasa, she was calling me in the office. How much time to reach temple? And at last I finished my meeting at 1:30 p.m. My owner took lunchtime and I reached Iskcon temple at 2 p.m. I lost hope that I missed a chance to serve with Guru Maharaj. But when I reached temple at 2 p.m., to my surprise, Guru Maharaj came out of the room and said, let us go for a walk. I have experienced such a bliss, joy, goosebumps and emotions that moment. I'll never forget. As if Guru Maharaj has entered my heart, all out my wish to serve him and sanction and fulfill it. Bharat is part of Midwest, very hot weather. We used to take Guru Maharaj to one of the shopping malls for a walk. No one can walk with Guru Maharaj in those days. I was literally running behind him, holding his gun, his stick, which is very heavy. Unique experience. Me and my Guru Maharaj, he asked me about my spiritual sadhana. I told him about my material questionable situation, how to overcome. He has instructed me, chant sincerely, remain more and more in the association of devotees, read Srila Prabhupada books, cooperate with all, help me propagate Srila Prabhupada mission of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. We shall now have Radha Gopinath Prabhu from Iskcon Brampton.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishna Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nam Namaste Sastri Gaurava Vidisesh Shri Paschati Swami Vidisesh Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept our humble obeisance to your lotus feet on this most glorious day of your last year. All those who shall Prabhupada, all those who Maharaj, you are Prabhupada Swami declaring thousands and thousands of foreign souls to Krishna consciousness. Maharaj, you are live living example for me. Last year, I was here in one of the videos where one devotee asked you that, Maharaj, how do you feel? And you said, I am very happy. And you said, my body is a little wrecked, but I am very happy. So it was like a very much inspirational for me because when we have little pain, right? Little cervical pain, and speaking is very big pain.
You have to drown them out.
But you know, when we see like you and how you are preaching, it's very, very inspiring that we forget ourselves when we serve Krishna and devotees. Maharaj, I am not very fortunate to have your blessing in person, but I get blessing for your own soul as Sanatan Prabhu and Ramana Mataji. You bear the lotus of Shri Radha Gidari and Prasudha to give you very good health so you can continue the mission of Shri Prabhupada and bring many, many devotees to Krishna consciousness. Please shower a blessings to Iskcon Brampton congregation so we can focus on Krishna consciousness. Maharaj, please bless me and the council member on the management of Iskcon Brampton so we can serve each and every member of Iskcon Brampton community. The humble servant,
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Next, we shall have Panchami Mataji from Iskcon Oakville.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Guru Pujari Vishesha Sutta Pashyata Sutta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Shadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna. So first thing, I know that I'm not qualified to speak about Jayapataka Maharaj. There are lots of I can speak about that, why I'm not qualified, and that can take 1 hour, which I know nobody wants. So, but I know that I'm not qualified to speak about Jayapataka because I have not really personally any interaction with him. What interaction I have that on the Rath Yatra in 10-15 years, the way, peak kartal, he was going like this and I was dancing with somebody, like a cool. And then later on, when I moved to Saskatoon, started to watch videos and memories of the Prabhupada. And in that, I know the real Jayapataka Maharaj and I understood. And most of the story which I supposed to tell, all his godbrother has told. So I'm not going to tell that also now. But that inspired me, the story that rose one, is that Prabhupada loves us. And the way he has told that story in that memories make connection with me to Prabhupada because he brought, and even to right now, if I have one flower, some winter, you have only one rose, and I'm doing chanting, I'm doing prayers, and then after Arti, should I give it to Krishna? Prabhupada. And Prabhupada means because of the mercy of the Jayapataka Maharaj. So that is the impact on us, and not much I'm gonna tell, but I saw the video of Jayapataka Maharaj that he is wrestling in the Mayapur with the other devotee to say that that there are two teams. One is Iskcon devotees team, that the local people team and wrestling, and he won the remake one. And from that what I have learned is that he has so much unity. Yeah, and I wish from Iskcon we can also show that unity with our god brother, sister, and all this Prabhupada's disciple and grand disciple, and so that's my offering from Iskcon that hope we can be good servant as he has shown the path. Hare Krishna.
Our last offering will be from Iskcon Brampton, Ashok Krishna Prabhu.
Panchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubheva cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dear Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you on this occasion of your 75th Vyasa Puja, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, your life is a radiant beacon of devotion and service. Through your tireless efforts in spreading the message of Lord Krishna, you have touched the hearts of many and guided them on the path of bhakti. Your unwavering commitment to Srila Prabhupada's mission is truly exemplary, motivating us all to deepen our own spiritual practices. Maharaj, you are directly empowered by Lord Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. Without being authorized by Krishna, nobody can praise the holy name of the Lord throughout the entire world. You are inspiring thousands of souls to take Krishna consciousness seriously. From the time you have joined the Hare Krishna movement in 1968, you are tirelessly preaching all over the world despite your physical health condition. You are one of the strong pillars of Iskcon and keeping Iskcon together. You always think how to make everyone a devotee. Despite your challenging health condition, you are working tirelessly to distribute the mercy of Lord Chaitanya all over the world. This is a great inspiration for all of us. Your deep love and care for your disciples and well-wishers resonate in every interaction, showering us with blessings and encouragement. Your teachings resonate deeply within our hearts, urging us to strive for spiritual excellence and to selflessly serve the devotees. Your dedication to Srila Prabhupada's movement is incomparable. You are handling the most important project of TOVP, and with your unflinching determination, the new Narasimha temple was inaugurated on March 2nd this year on the auspicious occasion of 150th appearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. TOVP marks another milestone in the history of Srila Prabhupada, Iskcon. We are trying in our own little way to become an instrument in the hands of Srila Prabhupada and broadcast this message of Lord Chaitanya in the Halton region of Ontario, Canada. We wish to get your blessings for the success of Iskcon Milton Yatra and all other yatras in Canada. Following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, you are tirelessly preaching throughout the world about the glories of Lord and have fully dedicated your life in the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We pray that the all-merciful Shri Shri Radha Mother bless you with a long and healthy life ahead. May you continue your relentless preaching efforts and inspire many more foreign souls to take up Krishna consciousness seriously. With gratitude and affection, your servants at the Milton Yatra.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, and that concludes the homages for Srila Guru Maharaj today. Now we'll move on to the Guru Aarti. So if everybody could stand up and face towards Guru Maharaj's wonderful, beautiful altar here. The prayers will be sung by Vimal Prem Nityananda Das and Aarti performed by Ma Vishnu Das. Hare Krishna.
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Satma Shri Guru Shri Guru Charana
Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvrajacharya Astutar Sutta Shri Srimad Jayapataka Swami Maharaj Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvrajacharya Astutar Sutta Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvrajacharya Astutar Sutta Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Chidananda Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananda Guru Vaishnava Ki Namacharya Srimad Haridas Thakur Ki Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavanam Ki Navai Mayapur Dham Ki Gangamayi Ki Jamunamayi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki 10th Nana Book Distribution Ki Jayapataka Maharaj Vyasa Puja Mahotsava Ki Sandamekta Bhaktivinoda Ki Lord Brahmanandi. All glories to these seven devotees. All glories to these seven devotees. All glories to these seven devotees. All glories to Shri Guru Gauranga.
So now we'll have the Pushpanjali prayers, and we'll distribute flowers for the Pushpanjali offering. Just a reminder to please not throw it from the back. No coming up every time to, just wait till the third time to offer all your flowers to Srila Gurudev. So just a reminder, no throwing from the back, and just wait till the last Asia Pushpanjali to offer your flowers, to come up to the front and offer your flowers to Gurudev. Hare Krishna. And the prayers will be offered by Her Grace Jayapataka Devi.
Follow me, I will go little by little. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Iti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradhaine Gaurakatha Dhamadaya Nagar Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Eshe Pushpanjali. We'll do it the next 2 more times, and then after that everyone can go. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Iti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradhaine Gaurakatha Dhamadaya Nagar Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे एषे पुष्पांजलि नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामी इति नामिने नमः आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे एषे पुष्पांजलि. Now everyone can go close, don't throw from the far. Go.
And please offer the flowers on the red cloth, not outside the red cloth, in front of Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, who has offered the flower, please come back so that other devotee can get the chance. Hare Krishna.
We'll end off the program with the Narsimha sung by Dhruv.
She came to Iskcon after 1996 तक था.
Namaste Narasimhaya Namaste Narasimhaya
Yato Yamitato Narsimho
Thank you, Dhruv. Hare Krishna. That concludes today's program, the 75th Vyasa Puja of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Now we'll serve prasadam. So the prasadam will be. Oh, sorry. I forgot the biggest, the most important thing. We have to cut a cake for His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. So we're going to do a quick cake cutting and then move on to prasadam. Just to let everybody know, prasadam is takeout. You can see the boxes in the back. But we do need some volunteers to stay for cleaning. So it would be great if a few people could stay back as well. Hare Krishna. And we'll have Her Grace Asha Lata Mataji chant Hare Krishna to you for Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, can we get everybody closer when we cut the cake?
You guys should put hands up.
Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to Jayapataka, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Rama to you, Hare Rama to you, Hare Rama to Jayapataka Maharaj, Hare Rama to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to Jayapataka Maharaj, happy birthday to you.
Before we start cutting,
मिलेगा